Gee, I believe we are live. At least I am. So here we are. Yeah. So, in the esoteric place of Buddhism and things of that nature, today is Wesak. So I'm going to teach just a little bit about that because there's still that kind of stuff going on. And Wesak is it's a relationship to the Buddha, and there's phenomenons that took place in Buddha's life that cannot be verified. Yeah, and I don't sit with the thought that it's true, but I will share it. Yeah, and those phenomenons are: his birth is on the Wesak, his death is on the Wesak, and his enlightenment is on the Wesak. Now, great. Yeah, it's great. And the same kind of phenomenon goes with Jesus. His birth happens to be on Christmas, which also happens to be Archangel Michael Mass, which is a pagan scenario that goes back to the past. So I'm not real happy with Christmas. Yeah. And I'm not at all happy with Easter. Yeah. And so there's a lot of these things that go on with definition and understanding and belief, that it has to do with God, and it has to do with, making a major difference, some ceremonial belief system. This one's within Buddhism. So, as I said, it's those three phenomenons, and the relationship goes further than that in other esoteric beliefs. It's also Shambhala. It's the time in which Shambhala, which is the planetary logos, the teacher of this world, Jesus Christ, is the connection that we have. But there are no teachings in Buddhism other than ancient Buddhism that refers to Jesus Christ. Only Buddha referred to Jesus Christ. And after that, no one ever brought it up again. Even after the coming of Jesus Christ, it was only brought up in monasteries where Jesus went to and lived in and studied in, and he was recognized as a Buddha, even at a very young age. Yeah, so he was seen as the prophecy, a fulfillment that was given by Buddha. Yeah, so, and he spoke of Jesus, as the only one who could save humanity. Not Buddha, not anything else, but Jesus. Yeah, so if you studied many different other texts, you'll see that there's the avatar. Yeah. And there's the belief of the avatar, the coming of Maitreya, the coming of Kalki, the avatar, the coming of Jesus. And they're all the same person. It's just that because of false teachers, we can't relate to them in the same way. We can't understand it. Yeah. So there's a lot that goes between them. And it's usually a lower nature, pagan duality of the goddess that stands between the avatar and humanity. Yeah. So whether you look at Shiva, or you look at Brahma, or you look at the relationship of Buddha, and whether or not that has a relationship to the female aspect, and you look at the relationship of Jesus and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalena and all these different things that attribute a pagan connection from the past that has nothing to do, but it will make up mystical, interesting stories that weave into the past. So events take place, but it doesn't mean that it is the fulfillment of your delusionary prophecy in your religion. Even though it's similar, it doesn't mean that it's the fulfillment. It happens differently. And so there's a lot to clear up, and especially this Wesak reality. The influence of the Wesak has to do with the influence of Shambhala and the coming of Maitreya, the coming of Christ, the coming of the Christ, Jesus the Christ. So there's the process of the Wesak is in the influence of Buddhism. It's to bring a closer relationship to what might have been, Buddha himself, and the purpose behind Buddha, which would be he comes from Shambhala, and that the teachings that we receive are the teachings of Shambhala, and that those teachings are so mysterious that it's at the time when you focus on that, at the time where Buddha was enlightened or born or died, that would be the closest influence of all the hierarchy would be focusing at that moment in time. Yeah, because that's his event. Yeah, it's his cycle. You know, so in history, they've collectively chosen this to be that time. Because historically, in ceremony, this is whether there was a Buddha or not, the Wesak was still an event. Yeah, it still was a relationship to Hindu belief system, you know, to Wesak Valley, you know, ancient teachings that go to Shiva, yeah, before there was Buddhism. Yeah, so it is a carryover, a carry-on, you know, of connecting. Like in Shiva, Shiva sits on top of a mountain in an aesthetic state as though he's not alive. He's there, but he's not alive. He's just there. Yeah, so there means he could be there for tens of thousands of years. And he's just there, a speck on a mountain. Yeah, and yet he exists. That body wakes up on occasion, you know, opens his eyes on occasion. Yeah, and that's the cycle of life inside of humanity. That's the belief in this mysterious understanding of Wesak. Yeah. So way on top of this mountain is me. Yeah. Waiting hundreds of millions of years. Sitting and waiting, watching humanity. Yeah. And everybody's dead. Everybody's asleep. Yeah. So I close my eyes and I sit in a cosmic realm. Yeah. Where nobody can touch, nobody can understand it, nobody can feel it, nobody can experience it. But it's the spirituality that's happening inside of me on a day-to-day conscious evolution. And that ripples out into humanity. So the Wesak becomes a representative of the incarnation, enlightenment, and disincarnation and reincarnation of that being. Yeah. So we have Buddha himself as a manifestation of Shiva. And it's not recognized as that. It's not ever thought of that. It's always thought to be Vishnu or something like that. But no one really knows the true reality behind the aspects of God. You know, the Trinity, the aspects. It's a mystery. Yeah. So inside that mystery, working out that mystery, is Jesus Christ. Yeah. Jesus Christ is the only one existing manifestation that comes out of that being that's up there on top of that hill. Yeah. Or the being that you call God. Yeah. And that influence has no direct contact other than through his Son, through the manifestation of his actions and his activity. Yeah. So it's that process that's coming from on high, coming from God, constantly creating and manifesting through this earth, is orienting the process for humanity to come in contact with the many incarnations of the Avatar, and settling down into the one who's present today. Yeah. But our difficulty is that we have someone like the Dalai Lama, who tells people, you know, it's really not that important that you reincarnate. Not that important. He literally said that. Yeah. Yeah. And when you tell someone it's not that important, and you're a Buddhist, and you tell someone it's not that important that you reincarnate, and then he goes, well, it's true. Did Buddha reincarnate? Well, he knows he's never been recognized because he's the one who keeps it from happening. Yeah. Did Nagarjuna reincarnate, he says? And he knows he kept him personally from reincarnating in recognition. He did reincarnate, but in a different name, in a different body, and was not able to be externalized because of the Dark Lodge. It would cause other people great harm. Yeah? Just like Milarepa. He incarnates. The more enlightened he gets, the more possible harm others will go through. Because the demons will ask people who are innocent to kill that saint. Kill him. Get him away. Get him out of here, because we can't continue our teaching if he keeps teaching directly out of Buddha's consciousness. Yeah? where we're over here making up shit. You know? Because everybody's so stupid. Yeah? So, you could just make up shit and nobody can check it out. Nobody can test it. And I'm telling you, this Wesak situation is going to just go away. This process of believing that the Wesak is going to bring about anything, isn't true. Yesterday is just as holy as today. Yeah. We are not in a pagan world. This is not a pagan situation. Don't orient my birth to be a pagan day because you do not know the day of my birth. Yeah. You're really lucky and blessed in this life because I've made it possible for you to know the exact location. No Dalai Lama can say, no, I wasn't born there. Yeah. I can say my exact time of birth. Yeah. And I can say my location, I can say my date, I can say I'm here. I can be physically incarnated and live through this life and change all this bullshit pagan stuff that supposedly brings me here and is the reason why I'm here. And that's not what brings me here. All my hard work is what brings me here. My past life, struggling in whatever I went through, gave me the situation at hand and built relationships with everybody in the world and established all the things that we're getting into. I didn't just pop out of the sky and start walking on earth, and making changes as a person who has no recognizable understanding of the average person in the world. I am completely 100% in the ability to understand everybody in the world, at whatever their level they're at, whatever condition they're in. I understand it completely, because I'm not pagan, I'm not in any of it, and I'm here only for one reason, through one circular reality, and that is God put me here, and I'm going to serve the purpose that I'm here. And that's to bring people redemption, to save people from themselves. Yeah? Themself is selfish. Themself is what attracts the devil to them. There'd be no devil if there was no selfishness. It's a law of attraction. Yeah? So I'm here. I am 100% selfless. Yeah? Whether you know me or not, I am as you are, I am not a liar. But you may be a liar. But I am not a liar. Yeah? I am all the things the Ten Commandments says you should be. I am all those things and more. Because there's a lot more commandments. Yeah? This is just the start. Dang it. Don't kill anybody. Don't lie. Don't steal. Those are very easy things to do. Yeah? But you can't determine what is stealing. Stealing another person's identity by jealousy and enviousness. Stealing a person's soul by slavery. Yeah. Stealing other people's time and money by misrepresenting yourself and an outcome of a situation that really isn't true. Again, lying, thieving. Yeah. Those things are so common in the personality of a person just trying to maintain their fearful life. Making a buck. I got to keep that buck. I don't care if this person's poor. Nobody telling me I got to give this person any money. Nobody sees whether or not I give this person any money. What's the use of that? I'm not going to do it unless someone sees it. Someone thanks me for it. Yeah. It's this whole process, that influence, that holds the lower nature of humanity. Yeah. And I'm here to help people have the other nature that they are instilled with, but they can't completely bring about. Because we have these pagan days going on. Yeah. You can't even get it right as to what is a weekend. Because you don't know that you serve God. And God loves you. And God gives you a day of rest. and that God puts you into productivity so that you will produce for humanity whatever it is you are called to do. So when you see that person that needs, you are called to do. But if you're, in a non-service oriented world and you got people you're working for who are liars and thieves, how are you possibly going to go above that when you have to work for liars and thieves? Yeah? Jesus Christ. It's the only way you're going to get above it. The only way. Not through a freaking Wesak. Not through Merry, Merry Christmas. Yeah? Not through Happy New Year. Yeah? Not through Easter bunnies. Yeah? Not in constantly thinking about me on a cross, bleeding, suffering, dying, resurrecting. Oh, what a wonder. Yeah? That doesn't make it. That doesn't make it. You need to get it completely clear with yourself that this is not just another person going through another suffering. Yeah? Could have been this other guy, yet it was Jesus. You got to really, really try and believe in God. You got to believe in God before you can believe in Jesus. Yeah? You got to know God sent Jesus. Yeah? And now you got something, You got something, you're thinking, you're putting it together. But if you just are, oh, it's Jesus, then you're going to just be all so ready for, oh, it's Mary. Oh, it's Mary Magdalena. Oh, it's St. Joseph. Oh, it's this and that. Because you still hold Jesus as a personality. He went through the station of the cross. He went through all of his life. And there's most of it you don't even know about. And if I have the time and the ability, to teach you about the life of Jesus, it would give you a path. It's not about the fact that I went on a cross and died and resurrected. What happened after that? What did I say before that? Those are the issues. Yeah? And I say exactly the same now, and I have exactly the same powers. Yeah? Except that it's not under a delusion of grandeur. Delusions of grandeur are part of this pagan thought. You're expecting something that's never going to happen, not in the way you think it's going to happen. Because that leads you to manipulating time and space, thinking, wishing, then an outcome. Yeah? That's wrong. It doesn't work like that. It's all a surprise. Everything's a surprise. Yeah? Through revelation, you get an impression. Through revelation, the Lord speaks through you. And you can hear it, not as you, but you can hear it as a direction, as a way forward, as a calming word that solves the problem that you're in and raises you up. Yeah? That's the process. It's the teacher. Yeah? So we have a president, Trump, and everybody's got a king or a queen or an emperor or whatever you got, And then there's me. And a lot of people have no idea that I even exist. They think, oh, Jesus Christ, wow, and that was 2,000 years ago. We have to go to the Bible for that one. Then you got to go back before me and then only during the time of me. But what happened during those other 2,000 years? I've been busy. Yeah, I did reincarnate. And I did further this planet. And I beat up a lot of demons. And there were so many, I'm telling you, so many. It took me a lifetime to get through hundreds. And there were still tens of thousands left. Yeah? And every lifetime, I would sacrifice my life in the process of killing these bastards. Yeah? I didn't go around wringing their necks. I didn't go around shooting anybody. Yeah? But I talked the demons right out of them until they killed me. And in most of my lives, I died like that, whether it be Milarepa or the incarnations of many incarnations throughout Tibetan Buddhism. I was usually murdered or poisoned. Yeah? But those are the lives of a bodhisattva. That's the process of a bodhisattva. So when I give teachings, the teachings is to help people understand that the Lord has been here all along, just like I am right now. And the reason for that is Buddha. And what is Buddha? Buddha is Bodhisattva, born, baby. Then comes into life, totally aware, totally enlightened, totally knowing what's going on as a baby. And moves from Bodhisattva to Bodhisattva, a man of action. Goodwill in action on the largest scale you can ever imagine. Yeah? And that continues forward. Yeah? And that whole process is what's moving humanity. Each and every one of those incarnations moves humanity because it's a bodhisattva. And it's manifesting Buddha nature into the world. The opposite nature of this lower nature. Yeah? And there are increments of its consciousness that ripple over the earth, ripple over the aura of a human being, ripple over all plants and animals. Buddha nature is premier. It's the nature that is like a mirror to all nature. It stands there to protect it, to support it, and to bring it into advancement. Yeah? To help it move forward, to find its true purpose. Yeah? And continue its evolution and manifestation. All in collective understanding. Every single thing has a consciousness. And when in Buddha nature comes into every single thing, you can't imagine the blissful joy you get out of eating something that's enlightened. Living in a house that is enlightened. Being in a forest that is enlightened. Right now, you have demons everywhere. I can show you videos of demons coming out of closets, walking down halls, sitting on bathroom toilets, pushing people out of windows. Demons. And they look like little dark forces. You can hardly see them. But if it wasn't for these video cameras, we wouldn't have them on camera. And they do exist. And they torture people day in, day out. Little children, men and women in homes and old homes, in England and Europe and America. Homes, so many homes are possessed by these demons. And what are we going to do? We die, they don't. We sell the house, they're still there. And if we're really unlucky, it connects itself to us. And we travel and it comes with us. That's been found to be true. When poltergeists really like you, they don't let go of you. You can go from house to house. I can show you documentation. Yeah? Yes. This is the world you're in. Yeah? This is real reality. Yeah? And you got a person like Trump, and you got other people doing things in this world. Your movies, your theater, your TV, your books, your interesting websites and all that internet. All the time you spend on your phone looking at all this shit. It's just keeping you from seeing the truth. Yeah? The ghost is standing right over you. Yeah? They're rubbing you and touching you. Yeah? But you're just too busy. Yeah? Too caught up in what's going on. You can see that in the videos. There's all kinds of videos of people who are totally unaware of the demon ghost right over their shoulder. Or the one sitting right next to them. Yeah? And it's just like, how is it people are not sensitive enough to see that? But yet on a camera, you show the same person, and they're just going, yeah, I felt that. I felt the coldness. I felt something terrible was there, but I didn't know. I didn't see it. How was I supposed to respond? Yeah. But it affected that person. Now, all these things are there to enter you. That's their only desire, is to find a way into you so that they can live. And you think a virus is something, it's nothing compared to what we have as an earth. A possessed earth with imperiled demons. Yeah. That keep people from having clear thoughts, keep governments from doing what they're supposed to be doing for other people. Yeah? Because it's a parallel world. You got one side is compassionate and understanding and empathetic and caring and sharing and want to do everything they can to help other people. Because they're in the activity of Christ. They're helping, they're serving. We're in a world where life is hard. Yeah? And those who are there to make life easier are there to serve the Lord. Yeah? It's when they are just sitting around complaining. You know, those are the doors, you know. And then once you get through that door of some gossip or talk or complaining, then you enter into the realm in which everybody and everything you watch on TV and everything all interconnects with that personal connection you have with negativity in another person or in yourself. And then by the time you get to the TV, you can't see shit, and you're just living in your lower chakras, passing time. Yeah, most of the time you're not even watching TV because you've got this thing in front of you. Yeah, you're looking at your phone. You know, being totally self-centered. Yeah. Yeah, but there's a lot of things to do. I mean, if you were to look at TV and choose what you choose, it would take quite a while you to find something that is of God, but you can find it. I do it all the time. But it's got to be me, the one who's searching. Because you got to have so many blessings and no demons moving through you to stop you and your thumb and your thought into a demonic situation. Yeah, it just makes you nervous. That's the reason why you would go. But that's not good enough. You know, you should be looking for God. You know, finding it if you're going to find it. Yeah. So there's an influence in the process of what we have, and most people don't know my reincarnation and what I do, and I've been here almost as long as Trump, you know, and you got Trump and you got me, you know, but I'm a different kind of president-like guy, yeah. I sit on a throne seat, you know. I am above the Dalai Lama. Yeah, I'm above all lamas, yeah. No matter who they call themselves, no matter who they think they were from the past, and they very likely were, yeah. But I'm their teacher, yeah. So that's really kind of where it's at, yeah. And I live in America, so I could really help a lot of people if people catch on that I'm here, yeah. Because I don't just sit on a throne seat occasionally. I sit on a throne seat 24/7. Yeah. It's in your personality. You take no relationship to God and you cannot see the Son of God. And then there's no more throne seat and he's just a guy. Just a guy driving a car, sitting around, doing what he's doing. Yeah? And it's not like that. Life is very, very different. You know, I give teachings just like I do here. Yeah? I tell you about the etheric weaver, tell you about healing the world, tell you about Shambhala. I do this to people who study that sort of thing. Yeah, in Tibet, in Buddhism, because that's where I spent my lives. Yeah, I spent an enormous amount of time, from the time of Jesus, I mean very, very much as Jesus. I spent my time in Tibet studying. I spent my time coming back and continuing coming back because I knew where evil sat. And I knew the relationship of the Dalai Lama and the Pope and many others are manifested on this earth. So I had to continue reincarnating as the reincarnation of Buddha. Or according to the Dalai Lama and all the false prophets of Tibet say that is not happening. That cannot happen, and they teach against it. Even though in their puja books, right in their puja books, it states in the puja book, all Buddhas will never not be incarnated. The Buddha will never disincarnate, would die and then reincarnate immediately. until all sentient beings attain Buddhahood. That's in their prayers. That's in their prayers from Buddha, from all the incarnations of Buddha, whether it be Tsongkhapa, Milarepa, Padmasambhava, or Buddha himself, or Nagarjuna, Tilopa. All the incarnations of Buddha say the same thing. Make sure everybody makes this pledge and then teaches everyone how to calm down so you can make it through this life, because you're coming back. That's Buddhism. That's compassion. Life is hard and then you die. That's Buddhism. It's truth. Life is hard and then you die. So why not do it easier? Yeah? Why not take refuge? Don't think that the things you do are going to attain merit. Yeah? Because it won't. Now the thing you're going to do is going to attain merit. Yeah? Yeah? But the ability for you to realize and witness through the false prophets to the real coming of Buddha. When Buddha sits in front of you, can you see that? When Tsongkhapa was there, could you be one of them who saw it? There were many who did. Many who sat there with Tsongkhapa and went, oh my God, he just turned into Manjushri. Did you see that? I saw that. He was 16-year-old Manjushri like a painting. And that's because that particular individual sat in front of Manjushri in a previous teaching life. That's recapitulation. Yeah. So I have to come back and I have to sit on this throne. I have to do these things for all these people. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Yeah. So I have to sit like this. Yeah. For hours every day. Yeah. For thousands of years. That's a long time job. And you wonder what Jesus has been doing. That's what I've been doing. Even today as an American. Look at me. I'm still there. It doesn't change. Maybe my clothes change a bit, you know? But my teaching is the same. I'm the Lord. I am the Son of God. I am Jesus Christ. And you don't think it was easy for me to explain to these people that their teacher is Jesus Christ? You know? It was horrendous. First of all, they couldn't speak English, you know? And they knew me. They had all these masters say, this is the guy, this is him, and throne him, you know? But they never heard from me. They never heard a word I had to say. So I said, well, I need to say something. I need, as you can see in these pictures, I'm saying things. You know, what I'm saying is that you are all in front of Jesus Christ. Yeah? This is Jesus. Then I get the Rinpoche alone in a room, and I show a video of Jesus Christ, the life of Jesus Christ, and that he lived in Tibet, called the Lost Years of Jesus. And I show this in Tibet to these Rinpoches so that they can get past their Tibetan lineage of, oh yeah, this is our High Lama reincarnated, you know, Padmasambhava, you know, even Buddha, you know. But none of them are going, oh, it's Jesus, you know. So I had to clarify that, yeah. And every single place that I go, whether it be Dharamsala, yeah, or Drepung, yeah, or Tibet, or India, you know, I still have to keep everybody straight in the reality that, yeah, I'm all these past lives, but I'm actually Jesus. You know, imagine all this time I've been teaching, and the only people I could teach is false prophets, because they're your teachers. I had to dispel them. I had to slow them down. I had to stand in front of them while they came to incarnate to make this world a worse world, pushing us into Hitler, pushing us into Hirohito, pushing us into all these that came just before I finally incarnate in America as the reincarnation of Jesus, period. Yeah. Not in a Tibetan body, not in a Hindi body, but in an American body, yeah, and fully the reincarnation of Jesus. So this changes everything for everybody, even though I'm sitting on throne seats like this, yeah. When I go to Nepal and India, where they actually do have monasteries, where you look at someone like this.
The whole group has been spectacular.
So here
This is where you're at.
In 2014,
Check this
the
guy out.
Obama-Biden administration put together the Global Health Security Unit within the White House National Security Council.
We have to put in place an infrastructure, not just here at home, but globally, that allows us to see it quickly, isolate it quickly, respond to it quickly.
They also assembled a 69-page pandemic response playbook. Now, in 2018, President Trump fired the Global Health Security Unit.
I'm a business person. I don't like having thousands of people around when you don't need them.
He also declined to renew CDC epidemic prevention funding, causing it to downsize in 39 countries, including China. Now, reporting from ABC suggests that intelligence officials were warning about this new disease emerging from China as early as November 2019.
Nobody would have ever thought a thing like this could have happened.
The administration has disputed that, but we know that at least as early as January 3rd, the White House National Security Council was briefed. In January, before Germany had a single case of the coronavirus, they began working on a test. January 8th, the CDC issued its first warning. On January 9th, the World Health Organization issued its first warning. And that night, President Trump held a rally.
And America's future has never, ever looked brighter.
On January 10th, the World Health Organization issued a comprehensive package of technical guidance with advice to all countries for how to detect, test, and manage potential cases. January 18th, Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar tried to have an urgent phone call with the president about the crisis. The president reportedly cut him off to berate him about his efforts to ban flavored vaping products. President Trump then hung up and went golfing. January 19th, President Trump went golfing again. January 20th, this was the first confirmed case of the coronavirus in the U.S. It was also the first confirmed case of the coronavirus in South Korea. The response of the two countries could not be more different. Within the first 2 weeks of that case, South Korea had implemented nationwide testing. Perhaps that's why, as of the beginning of May 2020, South Korea has fewer than 250 deaths, while the United States has had over 65,000. Given the difference in population size, you would expect the U.S. to have a death rate 6 times that of South Korea. Instead, it is over 250 times that of South Korea. On January 22nd, asked whether he was worried, President Trump said,
"No, we're not at all, and we have it totally under control. It's one person coming in from China, and we have it under control. It's going to be just fine."
On January 23rd, China shut down all of Wuhan. The World Health Organization held an international news conference, and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer called for a public health emergency. President Trump did not declare it. On January 24th, President Trump tweeted, "China has been working hard to contain the coronavirus. The United States greatly appreciates their efforts and transparency. It will all work out well." On January 27th, Joe Biden wrote an op-ed warning that President Trump was failing to take this crisis seriously and needed to take more immediate action. On January 28th, Elizabeth Warren released her coronavirus plan. That night, President Trump held another rally. On January 29th, President Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, sent an urgent White House memo warning of the risk of the virus. Only then was a task force formed. January 30th, China locked down all of Hubei province. The World Health Organization declared a global health emergency. That night, President Trump held a rally. February 1st, Trump goes golfing. February 2nd, only then did a partial travel restriction on China go into effect.
Well, we pretty much shut it down, coming in from China.
39 countries had travel restrictions on China earlier or at the same time, and many had much more comprehensive restrictions. At least 430,000 people arrived in the U.S. from China since January 1st. This included nearly 40,000 in the 2 months after President Trump's travel restrictions. While he claims that they saved thousands of lives, Dr. Jennifer Nuzzo, an epidemiologist at Johns Hopkins, says, quote, "We have not seen any evidence that shows that the travel restrictions stopped or slowed down transmission of the virus." February 3rd, the World Health Organization released a strategic preparedness and response plan. February 5th, Secretary Azar requested $4 billion to fight the virus. This led to a shouting match in the White House. February 6th, the World Health Organization began distributing 250,000 tests around the world. The US didn't want any. We'd produce our own. Around that time, the CDC produced a total of 90 tests, which turned out to be faulty. February 10th, President Trump proposed a budget that would cut CDC funding by 16%. That day, he said,
The virus. They're working hard. Looks like by April, in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away. I hope that's true.
February 15th, President Trump went golfing. February 19th, he held another rally. February 20th, he held another rally. February 23rd, Peter Navarro sounded another alarm within the White House, warning of the increasing probability of a full-blown COVID-19 pandemic. Only the next day does President Trump finally ask Congress for additional funding. But that same day, he tweeted, "The coronavirus is very much under control in the USA. Stock market starting to look very good to me." On February 26th,
You treat this like a flu because of all we've done. The risk to the American people remains very low. We think that in almost all cases, the better are getting. We have a total of 15.
there were more than 15 cases that day. There were 60. And now there are 1.1 million. February 27th.
It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
February 28th.
Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus. And this is their new hoax.
The very next day was the first confirmed U.S. death. Washington State declared a state of emergency. March 4th, he did an interview with Fox News where he suggested that it might be okay to go to work with the coronavirus.
We have thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that get better just by, sitting around and even going to work. Some of them go to work, but they get better.
March 5th, California and Maryland declared states of emergency. March 6th, Kentucky and Utah declared states of emergency. He went to visit the CDC wearing a campaign hat and said,
Anybody right now and yesterday, anybody that needs a test gets a test. They're there. They have the test.
It wasn't true then. In May, it's still not true. March 7th, New York declares a state of emergency and President Trump goes golfing. March 8th, he golfed again. March 9th, he compared coronavirus to the flu in a tweet and suggested it would go away on its own. March 10th.
It will go away. Just stay calm. It will go away.
On March 11th, the World Health Organization said it was not just a global health emergency, it was a pandemic.
WHO has been assessing this outbreak around the clock, and we're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity and by the alarming levels of inaction. COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Only on March 13th does President Trump finally declare a national emergency. On March 16th, in a call with governors, he tells them,
respirators, ventilators, all of the equipment, try getting it yourselves.
On March 17th, he finally admitted this is a pandemic, and he told reporters,
I've always known this is a pandemic. I felt it was a pandemic long before it was called a pandemic. All you had to do is look at other countries.
This is only days after he was still comparing it to the flu. On March 26th, President Trump delivered on his America First promise in a way no one could have wanted, as the U.S. overtook the entire rest of the world in cases of coronavirus. As of the beginning of May, the U.S. has 1.1 million cases of the coronavirus and has suffered over 65,000 deaths. Analysis of data from the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation suggests that 90% of the U.S. deaths could have been prevented if the president had issued physical distancing guidelines even 2 weeks earlier, when he had already been warned of the threat for months.
With all of that, it's been an incredible period of time. We've done a fantastic job.
So he's the president, okay, and I'm the head of Buddhism and God's Son on earth. And Tibetan Buddhism has enthroned me in the highest possible way, but yet I choose to live in America. Yeah, I could be sitting and saving people who really want to listen. You know, saving millions of people who are built my monasteries in the past. I could be in Nepal, where every single one of those people receive me, understand me, and will grow faster than you could ever imagine, because I'm there. But I choose not to be there. I choose to be here and only spend partial of my time there. Yeah. Because this place is going to bring the whole hell down on earth. Going to destroy everything and everybody. Yeah. Everybody's got an opportunity. We all have an opportunity at this time. Yeah. I lived for 2,000 years in Tibet, in India, and all within those regions. I changed everything, and I created the education that we're in today. The physics, the understanding, everything of higher mind, all came through my students. Yeah, so, but that took me 2,000 years to get past all the wars of demons, all the parasitical attitude of killing each other, and demons calling innocent people demons. Yeah, just so that they can possess them as a demon and demonize this world. Yeah, even the church of demons would gather people and call them demons and put them on the stake. Yeah, just so that they can bring demons to the world. Yeah, not because they can rid them. It's so that they could bring them. Yeah. And they did that to 50 million people. 50 million people they subjected to being killed as demons. And they were the demons doing it. Yeah, there's movies based on it. Yeah, something called The Rose. I don't know if you've ever seen that with, who's the guy that played 007? Yeah, no, not Roger Moore. No, Sean Connery. Yeah. He played in a movie of a long time ago where he was a monk and he was an investigator, and he had another young monk with him, and they would go to these monasteries where they're torturing people, because that's what monasteries do. If you went to the Patala, you'd find that that's all they do there is torture people. Yeah, it's a prison. And that's what monasteries are. It's a place to judge people and do demonology, you know. And so their whole thing in this movie is that you can see every priest was a demon. You know, bald and sores and everything, and they got cauldrons, and they're talking killing, and they're talking enjoying, the torturing of people. You know, all saying that these people are demons, but in reality they're the demon himself, living out the expression. Yeah. So this is history. This is everybody in Europe lived through that. Everybody. Yeah. And when you came to America, you brought it with you, and you did it to the Indians. Yeah. You went all around the world. It kept going on. Demonology. Demons. Everything is a demon. Making them demons. Yeah. So here I am in America. I choose to be here. It's not like it's the best place for me to be to bring about the awakening. I know that Tibet and India and Nepal and Bhutan is a better place for me to be to bring about the awakening. I've already done it. I have a very grounded relationship there. But the Dalai Lama has made that impossible. And the Pope is making it very impossible for me to externalize as Jesus Christ. Yeah, because you believe in a pagan mother, a demon, an incarnated, matter-of-fact demon that is all over this world. Is witches. Yeah? Just all the glamours, all the qualities of lower nature that's inside of people, they've been seduced to be that. They had to be seduced. And it's that female goddess that does the seduction. Yeah, and the devil just scares the shit out of you, beats you, harasses you, and the other one tempts you. Yeah, seduces you. Yeah. So you've got one scaring the shit out of you, and the other one using that to then seduce you, because you have no groundedness whatsoever and you just want to stay alive. And that seduction is your life force that lady's taking. Yeah. Study Lilith, the queen of all the women who are gay. Yeah. The whole feminist movement is based on Lilith. They have big festivals, Lilith festivals. They have all these great big things, you know, as though it's important. You know, but in reality, this is not a person with a body. This is a demon. This is the gargoyle. It's the nature of demon. Nature of demon does not look like a human being. It's a facade. That female is like a dragon with many heads. Yeah, you see it in Revelation. You know, the harlot, a dragon with many heads. Yeah, that is all manifested through seduction to the Catholic Church. You're seduced to become and remain a pagan. Yeah. And the same thing happens with the Dalai Lama. I tried to move this thing forward. I tried to make this thing a lot better. I tried to do that as Jesus. I tried to do this as Buddha. But there are these Rome. There's Rome. Yeah. And then there's the Dalai Lama over here. Yeah. And both of them are worshiping pagan reality of ancient gods that did exist and still exist, and they're demons. And they manifest through them. And they're the opposite of who they say they are. Yeah. And they're always in respect. If you study in Hinduism, like in the time of, here comes Rama, yeah? Rama comes incarnated, you know. Well, he's got a demon who's got his name. And he wants his wife. Rama's woman who he's supposed to be with, who incarnated for the purpose of his life. But she doesn't even know he exists, because she's all taken up by this king, this emperor, this mighty god. Rama, who has every single thing, collected every single thing that was the previous incarnations of Rama. His bow and arrow, right there, sitting in his temple. All things based around that bow and arrow, because nobody can string it. Yeah. Nobody can put that arrow and pull it back. They can't string it, let alone do that. You know, so for him, you know, he claimed because he had that arrow, because he had that bow, he was Rama. And therefore she needs to marry him. That's only because he stole it, and he was a liar, and he did that in his previous lives. Because all my previous lives, I'm beaten down and killed, and I die, and I come back, and I keep going at it. But every single one makes karma with me. So I definitely can be moved right back where I need to be and take care of what I need to do until it's done and over with. Yeah, it's just the way of Bodhisattva. You know, the wheel of Dharma goes one way, which is service and sacrifice. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, we take care of this shit. You know, so in the life of Rama, it was all based on that there are these beings who play out the illusion, a fictitious illusion of the avatar at the time. So right now we have Buddhism believes in coming to Maitreya, and Christianity believes in coming to Christ. So you have two major false prophets that play the position of Maitreya and the position of Christ. Yeah, those are my two main people I have to deal with, people you have to deal with. Yeah, and then there's all these others. Yeah, there's a king and queen. There's kings and queens everywhere. There's emperors. There's all these people. And then there's presidents, and then there's all the people in the House of Congress, and all the people who think they're politicians, and all these rich people who think that they have greater authority over life than people who are poor. Yeah, People who are really white and very wealthy and have been that way for a long time look down on other people of other races. Yeah, that isn't what goes on where I come from. And through me, all that can change, because you all can attain purity. You can all attain bodhicitta. And that's why I'm here. Yeah, is to, show my face, show that, you're dealing with someone who is highly enthroned. Highly enthroned. I mean, highly enthroned. You might like the Dalai Lama, but that jackass, he's a lying thief. I am the head of that organization. I'm telling you, he's a lying thief. And because he's a lying thief, you don't even know I exist. Same with the Pope. Yeah. And everybody, because there's a Mother Mary kind of delusion, then all of a sudden we have this whole delusion that women are disempowered. And they're never disempowered. There's no such a thing. Everybody's disenfreaking-powered. Every child is disempowered. Every woman is disempowered. Every man is disempowered. Everybody's disempowered. There is no such thing as women being more disempowered than men. No such thing. Yeah. Everybody's just as equally demonically under the control of Satan as everybody else. And Satan just makes it look like you're disempowered. And now it's a special thing. Oh, now it's the Me Too. Yeah. As though it's always been about, about all the guys being raped. Well, we'd like to let you know we're raped too. That's what girls are saying. As though all you think about is guys being raped, but not the girls. Or, all the guys get molested, Yeah. Well, me too. Yeah. As though that's real. You don't even know the guys get molested. Yeah. Yeah. You think Michael Jackson's perfectly okay. The discernment is because there's somebody screaming on the side in a feminist action. Lilith. And she's tempting you. Yeah. In the guise of a female, which gives you the delusion, oh my God, this is compassion, this is empathy, this is where I need to turn my attention. Yeah. We never want to go against mom. Yeah. What kind of hell being would you be if you went against mom? Maybe honest. There's no superiority to mom. It just is. Some moms are good. Some moms are not good. Yeah? It just is. It's not the way you put it, and that's pagan. And we've been moved into a pagan thing so that we're not prepared for the coming of Christ. And we're much more diluted and fall through temptation to be some part of the activity of this perverted world. Yeah, so when we see the news, we jump in it with our emotional body and we go, yeah. Oh my God, Hillary Clinton, we want a woman for president. Doesn't matter if she's killed people, doesn't matter if she lies all the time, doesn't matter if she's corrupt. No, even though she's in the middle of an investigation, no, we still want her. She's a woman. Yeah. We need Obama because he's black. Yeah. We really just made it through that one. Yeah. Because we can't make decisions like that. We have to be much more discerning. We have to be much more cognitive. There must be much more honest people out there that we can trust when they say shit, so that then we can vote for them. Because we don't want to find out that we're voting for a Trump who's always lied, who's always manipulated, and who's always gone bankrupt, and who's always hurt other people and caused them great harm. Where does that end? And then he becomes president, where he's given all the responsibility of 350 million people, and he's killed 70,000 of them. Yeah? I mean, he's complaining about China. Yeah? I'm telling you. It's he who is going to be sued. Because there's going to be more waves than you can ever imagine. And it's because of the lack of ability to control it here in America. It's going to stem into Canada, into Mexico. and any other places, because he's opening it up for people to start flying. That means we are going to send this virus off to the rest of the world, yeah, let alone cause great harm to ourselves. But let's hop on down to Puerto Rico, you know, let's head up for vacations, let's get on a boat, yeah, let's get together in baseball games. 4 months later, aw, really didn't expect that. Another million. Yeah, it's going to be how it's going to be. You know, and I'm saying this not as a scare, but as a truth, so that you could see, you know, this is all real. Yeah, and it's going to come down. And you've got in your midst, you've got Jesus Christ. Yeah? And I'm not just the guy sitting on the only monastery in America, you know, the only actual real freaking monastery in America, and offering to the world and offering to every living human being, but especially America. Yeah? You know, so if people of America can wake up and receive this and orient themselves to my teaching and listen to me and gain direction as to where we're going and how we're going to get out of this, because we can get out of this. I can save all of you. I could heal all of you. But I'm not going to. Yeah? There's nothing forces me to heal. Nothing. I heal when it's right. I'm a teacher. I'm not a judge, you know. I'm not healing you in order to bring you greater pain and make you learn. If I was to spend all my time trying to heal, and you're not receptive, it'll have a minute effect, because you're spending too much time in your own demon personality with your other demon friends, and it completely dispels the blessing. The blessing can't stay. Yeah? You know, so I'm going to get online or just like this and do my teachings just like this and give you the opportunity to come in contact with me. And then I'm going to teach you how to pray and how to become a real Christian. Yeah? And we'll close this door together, and I will heal you. Those who sit with me, I will bless and I will heal. People who have my tools are blessed and are healed. Yeah? It's a whole other scenario. We're going into millions of people. I could heal millions of people. I can prevent the whole planet from any further harm. Yeah? But you got to know that I'm here. And you have to believe in Jesus Christ. You have to understand this Pope is a satanic bastard. The Dalai Lama is a satanic bastard. Your president is a satanic bastard. They do not have any influence of God. They are pagan worshippers. They channel and they are holding their root situation to keep you from knowing me and from you from being saved. Yeah? So I'm going to do a meditation, and then that's going to be it for today. Voila. Okay. Okay, now, if anybody's on there that hasn't watched me before, I do these invocations. Yeah, I pray these things. And it's an invocation of invoking the power, the love, the wisdom of our ashram, soul, and monad. Now, the fact is that you don't even know that I'm here. You don't know that I'm head of an ashram. And that's all I am. That's what Jesus Christ is. He's the head of the church. Yeah? And it's not the kind of church you think is a church, because I'm not any part of the church you think of. Yeah? But my body is a church. Yeah? My planet is a church. My cosmos is a church. That's my house. That's my church. Yeah? All these plants and animals and all these little children, they're in my church. And they're manifested from my church. Not from the kind of church you're used to, not through pagan anything. But they're manifested by my Father, and it's my job to co-create with my Father to get evil out of my church. Yeah. So it's not where it can be anywhere. It can't be anywhere. Yeah. So I invoke the power, the love, the wisdom to guide you into the right activity in the plan, to clarify and stimulate your mind, and to transform and transmute your feelings and emotions. And then the next one is to heal your physical and etheric body. And if you don't think that's not going to do a number on the coronavirus, you're wrong. Yeah? You know, so just taking right relationship and knowing that you're sitting with Jesus Christ. You know, don't be stupid. You know, don't put yourself in a ridiculous state of thinking, I know that guy. I'm not a guy. Yeah? I'm Jesus. If you leave me alone and put me on a cross and let me live in heaven and anoint you in my Holy Spirit, you give me much more credibility. You know, but I can't touch you. I can't get near you. I can't be in my reality. And my reality is that I reincarnate. Just as I reincarnated during the time of Jesus, I did before that, and I will after that. But I can't be treated as I was as Jesus, and I can't be treated as I am now, or you won't get the blessing. Your mind has to see this from God's gift, as a gift. Yeah? Not anything equal or anything comparative. Yeah? You see a tree, it's so wonderful. You see the moon, oh, that's so wonderful. We only have one moon. You see the sun, oh, it's so wonderful. Same thing with the Son of God. So unique and so incredibly powerful. There is no comparison to it. Even though I'm in a human form, I am enthroned because I'm here as a special being, not as a person. Yeah? But as a special being, as Jesus Christ, the only Son of God. You may want to be the Son of God. You may want to be the daughter of God, but I'm sorry. You may be within the light of God, and you may be reborn. Yeah? But you have to be reborn through Jesus Christ. And then Jesus Christ becomes your Father. And Jesus Christ takes care of this delusionary bullshit around the compassion of Mother. You no longer put your direction that way. You put it directly toward Jesus, and you get all 7 rays, all levels of consciousness, all ways of being comes out of that one person. Not separate, you know, there's a female over there, she has separate, you know, qualities and characteristics, and, well, he's over here and he's got, you know, what now? What is he? What? Yeah? That would certainly allow the devil his due. And that's the art of separation. Yeah. So you have to get it beyond yourself. Yeah. You got to get it to where you're actually accepting Jesus Christ. Just Jesus Christ. Yeah. 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 Because when I reincarnate in a very incredibly auspicious way. Yeah. My mother and father do not give birth to me. Yeah. I am completely immaculate. Yeah, I am a surprise. Yeah. Yeah. And I could incarnate for any reason. Yeah. Under any family, under any situation. I only need to incarnate. It's not a personal thing. I just need to incarnate. And trust me, in this life and all my other lives, I realized that's exactly how it works, because it's a major surprise to my parents. Yeah. It's a shock. They're not prepared. They're not saintly. There's nothing special about them. Nor was there Mary. She was just as shocked as anybody else. Just as shocked as my mother in this life. Yeah. You know, so you got to really get it clear in yourself. You know, that whenever I incarnate, I only incarnate to incarnate. I don't have a mother or a father. I incarnate to incarnate. And I come through the same way everybody else does. You know, but not through my mother and father. Yeah. I'm immaculately conceived every single time. That's different in me than it is in you. Yeah. Just how it works with me. And you could try all you want. And God does that for you. God brings relationships together, the ending of separation. It brings love together. It brings what is separate together. And that brings you life. And that's the plan. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's do this. Just repeat after me. I invoke the power, the love, and the wisdom of my ashram, soul, and monad. To guide me into the right activity in the plan. To clarify and stimulate my mind. To transform and transmute my feelings and emotions. To energize and vitalize and heal my physical and etheric body. So there is a normal flow of energy in my physical and etheric body. Through this day and every day, I ask this in the name of the Christ to serve the One. All in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Just looking for my puja. Okay, just relax and close your eyes. Take it easy. Repeat the Om the same time I do the Om. I do them about 10 seconds apart. Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, just relax. Okay, open your eyes. All right, so the general world isn't really of the view of monasteries and things of that nature, and reincarnation, incarnations, things of that nature. It's not really the general view. Even in India, you can go to India and they're still surprised that someone reincarnates. It's amazing. And but in Tibet, I've made it a very clear understanding through my disciples, my own men and women who were my closest friends, who I lived with and trusted me and listened to me, and I was greater and better than anybody else, so they stuck with me. And it just so happens they were there because of previous life. And some of us were brothers and sisters, some of us would be born together as cousins, things like that. It happened a lot. And so it really wasn't a big choice in the matter. Naropa had Naguma, his sister. I mean, that was just like, are you kidding me? Just to be one of them is one thing, but the two of them together, both of them fully capable of receiving teachings directly from Vajradhara. How's that possible? That's how blessed that I am. That I can incarnate my students as pairs, as couples, as families. And if you go into Tibet, many of my Rinpoches have Rinpoches as brothers, or Rinpoche as a father, or Rinpoche as a mother. So it's not that uncommon for me to, when I reincarnate in groups and masses of people that we understand that this goes on, has been going on for hundreds of years. Karmapa's 17th incarnation, Many are the 24th incarnation, Lagan Tuku is somewhere in his 40s, 40th incarnation, can you imagine that? That's a lot. But it's nothing when you have infinite incarnations. And we're just now being able to sit with a teacher that can say and continue saying, you've reincarnated. How nice. Now you remember me? Okay, that's why you're here. Because there's two sides of this thing, folks. Either you reincarnate in the rest of Maya and go into samsara and live in a sleepy state. And even though I walk by you, I sit next to you, and all of that, you still cannot see. And it takes a long time to get all those demons out that are actually there against me, but they're using you to not get to me. Even though you could be sitting right in front of me, because that's how kind I am. I mean, many of my closest disciples ended up killing me, because they were being used. And just what happens. Nobody's wrong. Nobody did wrong. I explain it as it's happening. You are not doing wrong. Do not walk away thinking after I die that you're the cause of this. I'm choosing this to happen. In order to make it easier on that person. Because I knew the whole thing was going down. There was no way around it. And when you're a bodhisattva, that's just how life goes. You normally don't die of a car accident. You normally don't die of cancer or old age. You usually die on a cross. So I'm hoping to live a long time. I don't see any crosses ahead of me. And it pretty much takes a cross to take me down. So, I'm pretty much okie dokie on this side. Yeah, very little, is aggressively coming at me. I've gone into Tibet. I've externalized in America. I've even gone to England and externalized in the House of Witches, and not one of them shot me. Not one of them poisoned me, and they had all the opportunity in the world. Yeah, I would go to restaurants where they can come right in and poison my ass. Yeah. I'd be in a darshan where they can enter the darshan. I've had that happen. They come with a gun, they pull the gun out, and they stick it to my head. I've had it happen. But I've always been blessed where somebody grabs the gun and stops them from shooting me. Yeah, it's happened several times. But in the last 15, 20 years, it hasn't happened. But up to then, it happened at least 3 or 4 times. So everybody's doing better. Yeah. I mean, really, you never know. You might be told you got to kill him. It's coming into you. It's strong. You can't help it, and you're almost on the way to do it, but somehow it stops. And that has happened in this life with many of my closest friends. Just simply because they're near me. Yeah. The devil uses them. Yeah. They use my father. They use my brother. Yeah. They use my mother. And they ruined their lives. Ruined them. My sister's laying in bed today at nearly 450 pounds. Suffering beyond your wildest belief, and she cannot die. Yeah. They're keeping them alive so that she can suffer more. And there's nothing I could do to make it any different. Because this is a planetary thing. Yeah. She knows who I am. She knows exactly who I am. She could receive me just as you can receive me. But there isn't a thing I say that she agrees to. And so there's not a lot I can do. It's this world. You all have way too many demons. I can be your brother, and you still can't get it. I know for a fact. My brother barely made it through it. My brother had to go through hell and die of a heart attack. And coming out of the heart attack, he realized, oh my God, Tibetans came from my brother when he was 9 years old. I just remembered that. And I was the one who answered the door. And he remembered everything. And he immediately calls me up and he says, I'm so sorry. We kept that from you. Do you even know that it happened? And I said, I had no way of verifying that it happened. None whatsoever. To me, it would just be another crazy little kid's fantasy. Here I'd already been Jesus. I've already been Krishna. And through weeks and weeks of dreams, and coming out of those dreams, I'm walking around, I'm Krishna. I'm walking around, I'm Jesus. And now at 9 years old, holy men are coming to my house. And they keep me away from it. So I can't get any credibility for my dreams, for what's going on inside of me and what I'm experiencing. And my brother realized, wow, I remember you were going through that. And I kept that from you. I agreed with Mom and Dad to never tell you, and all the relatives agreed never to tell you, and yet they would bring it up as a joke. Oh, here's little Buddha. They called me little Buddha as a child, because they came for me. From here on out, I'm Buddha. And I turned 17 or 18. Oh, he's the Messiah, because I'm Jesus. They figured, well, he's 18, soon he's going to be Jesus again, And it's driving them nuts. Their son is Jesus. He's turning out to be Jesus. What have they done? They've kept Jesus from the world, just like Mary did. Yeah, exactly the same. So I can't hold anything against these people because all of you make Mary out to be some kind of God. I don't want that to happen to my mother. That's a horrible curse to put on someone, the lie of lies. When you're just a common, mortal, normal human being trying to make it through a daily life, and you have Jesus as a son, you could be better, but, not when they make you out in a delusion of grandeur to be a God, and the God who created Jesus, and yet you're just an average woman. That could destroy you. That could be the biggest curse on a human being, is the curses of what's been going on to Peter and what went on to, all of them. They're all cursed by being put on, everything I said Don't ever put anybody on a throne like that. Don't ever do this. It says it right there in the Ten Commandments. Don't make a statue of somebody and do that. Don't make, idolize somebody. Don't do that. It'll take you straight to hell, take them to hell. The worst thing, it will take them to hell. Yeah. Because it's blasphemy. It's against God. And he sent his son. His son's having the hardest time to externalize. Yeah. But yet you make statues and all these other things, and I'm still walking around. And I have to sit next to everybody who's praying to these statues and continue teaching for thousands of years while all this bullshit is going on. Yeah. So that's Wesak. Yeah. Those are the teachings of Jesus Christ, as Buddha, Buddha Maitreya. And for everybody to try and recognize the reality that I am literally a person who lives in America. Yeah. And I'm here for a reason. I'm here as an opportunity. Yeah. When I finish healing this thing, after all the demons finish what they're doing to you, and I finally can make it out to a point to where you realize that I'm here, and you tell your friends, you tell your mom, you tell your aunts, you tell your uncles, you listen to everything I'm saying, you do exactly as I say, and you come to God, and we heal this thing. Enjoy.